Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm taking you to one of my favourite corners of the Gower Peninsula, the twin villages of Port Eynon and Horton. These two little coastal communities sit side by side on the south coast of Gower, looking out across a wide, sweeping bay. A place that has seen fishermen, lifeboatmen, smugglers and salt makers, and holds more history than you might imagine. Standing quietly above the beach are the remains of the salt house, a solid stone structure that dates back to the late 16th or early 17th century. Its purpose was simple but vital: to produce salt from seawater, an essential preservative for food in an age before refrigeration. Seawater was drawn in from the bay, evaporated in large iron pans over coal fires, and the salt that remained was scraped up, bagged, and stored in the vaulted rooms we can still see today. Coal was brought here from nearby mines, probably from the Kilfrew and Lecher areas, and carried down to the coast by horse and cart. But the salt house had another story, one that was whispered in the dark and written in the tides. Like many coastal places in Gower, Port Eynon had strong links to smuggling. The same boats that brought in coal and exported salt were said to carry brandy, tobacco, and silk from France. Local legend tells that tunnels once ran from the salt house towards the village and Culver Hole, and were used to hide contraband from the customs men. Whether that's true or not, there's no denying that this remote stretch of coast was a haven for smugglers, especially during the 18th and early 19th centuries. The village itself has always been shaped by the sea. For generations, families here made their living from fishing, oyster gathering, and the coastal trade. The rhythm of the tides governed daily life here at Port Eynon and Horton. Boats pulled up on the sand, nets hung to dry along the walls, and the smell of salt and seaweed in the air. Further along the bay lies Horton, a smaller, quieter village linked to Port Eynon by the curve of the beach. Together, they've always shared a close community, people bound by the same weather, the same sea, and often the same hardships. In 1884, the people of this coast saw the opening of Port Eynon Lifeboat Station. It was a proud moment for the community. It was built to serve one of the most dangerous stretches of the Bristol Channel, where strong tides and hidden reefs have claimed countless ships. The lifeboat crews were all local men, fishermen and farmers, who would drop everything at the sound of the maroon, rushing down to the boathouse to launch into stormy seas. But the story of the lifeboat station also carries deep sadness. On the night of January the 1st, 1916, the crew launched into a fierce gale to rescue the SS Dunvegan. The lifeboat Janet capsized in the storm, and three brave crewmen, William Gammon, his brother Walter, and George Harry, lost their lives. The tragedy shook the entire community. Afterwards, the station never fully recovered, and it closed in 1919, and today the old boathouse still stands as a memorial to those who served and sacrificed. Yet the spirit of life-saving along this coast has never died. Just along the bay, the Horton Lifeboat Station still stands proudly, fully operational and crewed by volunteers from the local community. It continues a legacy of courage and service that has defined this coastline for generations. The Horton Station is part of the Mumbles RNLI branch, and its crews remain on call around the clock, ready to face whatever the sea might bring. Their orange lifeboat gliding across the bay beneath the cliffs of Port Eynon is a living reminder that this community still looks after its own and anyone who might find themselves in trouble offshore. And when you stand here now, with the waves breaking gently on the shore and the cries of gulls in the distance, it's hard to imagine the noise, the danger, and the courage of those times. The salt house crumbles slowly in the sea air, and the village has grown quieter. Yet the spirit of Port Eynon and Horton endures in the stories passed down, in the strength of the people who still call this place home, and in the landscape itself, where every stone and every tide seem to whisper of the past. This is a place that reminds us how deeply our history is tied to the sea, to hard work, community and courage. And that's why I spend so much time here with my camera in hand, to capture just a little of that spirit before it fades into time. Well, thank you ever so much for watching my video today, and I hope you've enjoyed this look into the history and heart of Port Eynon and Horton, along with my images of these two villages. If you'd like to see more of Gower's hidden stories, then please like, subscribe, and join me next time as I explore another corner of this beautiful coastline.